Hello there, my beautiful Leo signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you, Leo. This is a very eclectic energy, but for a lot of you, I definitely feel like this has a lot to do with love, how you're loving yourself, how you're maybe preparing to love someone else. For those of you that are single, I do feel like you are out on the dating scene. I'm not sure. I'm getting like a very great energy from it, and I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it, but there's something about blue eyes that might be significant for some of you Leos. You're dating with someone with blue eyes, or you have like just like strikingly blue eyes. I'm not sure what it is, but that came out right away when I was meditating. And the song that I was meditating on was Lana Del Rey's Brooklyn Baby. So you might want to go listen to those lyrics, but I'm going to put the song title in my YouTube video title because that's just kind of how I tap into music through your energy. Now, there's a lot about shadow aspects of yourself that's shifting right now, Leo. I do feel like for a lot of you, you're going through a dark night of the soul or just some sort of isolation mode in order to self-reflect. And I feel like that's vital at this time because it's like you're releasing your past and you're really moving forward into something new, and you're trying to channel that and alchemize it and turn it in, your past pain, your past trauma, all of those things, turn it into something really beautiful. And that is definitely happening here. But I traditionally pull a Celtic cross spread, which is about 10 tarot cards, and then I dive into oracle cards after that. So if you're here for the tarot reading, then settle in because here we go. Now, the first card I pulled for you, which is like your current energy, is the Page of Cups. This tells me like you're ready for love, or there's a new offer of love coming in, or you're like really thinking about love and what it means to you at a different base level, basically. Now, the challenge here, or what's crossing you, is juggling, balance, harmony. So maybe you're trying to find like that fine line between reciprocity. And when we've had traumatic relationships or toxic relationships, we may not always know like what is fair or what is good for both parties. And we kind of have to go through the trials and tribulations of understanding what that means. And the Two of Pentacles is kind of about like finding a balance, finding harmony, and juggling something. Now, for some of you, it might be like juggling multiple people if you're on the dating apps. So just be aware of that. That could be your energy. That could be somebody in your energy. Now, the foundation of all of this is the Star card. This is like a wish granted card. This is also kind of a manifestation card, and it's a card of healing. This is tied to Aquarian energy, and I do feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with healing more so than anything, because in the recent past here, you have... Ooh, that's weird. I'm getting like a cold chill on my right side. That's so strange. In the recent past here, you have the Seven of Swords, and this is kind of an escapist card. This is like maybe you ran away and tried to pacify your pain through like things that you cope, like different ways you cope, coping mechanisms that may not always be healthy. So sometimes that's through distracting ourselves with dating. Even that can be a thing. Like if you're addicted to the apps and you're like addicted to the attention, it's very easy to get on a dating app and like have a conversation with a stranger and like never, really have intention of like pursuing anything else. It's just kind of a distraction. And in your current energy, I feel like you're being distracted, and I feel like you're kind of at a conflict either with yourself or with someone else, because you have the Five of Wands here. So Five of Wands is a card of like conflict typically, and then with the Page of Swords, that's actually tied to like an immature or a spying behavior. So some of you might have an ex that's like cyber stalking you, or hopefully not really stalking you, but it could be possible. So make sure you're cognizant and aware, and do your due diligence as much as you can if you're in that sort of a strange situation. But also remember, like, people are going to treat you how they feel about themselves. So if someone is doing like vile things or malicious things, that's just a reflection of who they are as a person. And try not to take that personally. But I feel like right now you're having like a lot of introspective moments because in your subconscious, you have the Hermit card. And that's a great energy to see because when you're in this mode of like self-reflection, you can heal from trauma. You can heal the damage. You can release it and let it go. Sometimes that can be found through forgiveness, but we are not always able to forgive other people because forgiveness stems from understanding. So when you can understand yourself or your actions that you've taken in a situation, that's when you can really truly forgive yourself. Or if you can understand like where someone else was coming from, then you can truly forgive them. But again, that may not always be possible given certain circumstances and situations. So I'm not saying like forgive everyone. I'm not at all saying that, but I am saying you can still move on without that. Now, in your near future, you have the Wounded Warrior. This is the Sagittarius energy. This is also like, with all these wands, it's the Nine of Wands. And this is about kind of all of the battle scars that you've had when you've been through situations. So I feel like there is some sort of cycle that you're going on repeat right now, Leo, because of that Page of Swords energy and the fighting. So maybe you've been trying to get closure from someone or something and it's not really like coming around. And I feel like you've exhausted every option. And I feel like that's kind of like, it's out of your control now. Because what's in your control here is the Wheel of Fortune. And when the Wheel of Fortune is in your like control area, that tells me like it's life is moving on no matter what. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is like about progress here because you truly see what's going to make you happy and you truly see what isn't. And sometimes when we go through toxic relationships or things like that, we can truly see like someone's not for us. And how people see you is this 10 of Cups. They see you as like wanting the full enchilada, like the whole thing, and that you're not willing to settle for anything that's not going to serve you, which is great. And in your hopes and fears, you have the Four of Wands. This isn't a card of engagement or commitment, and this can just be like you're making a commitment to yourself, and maybe that's a commitment to being single. Maybe that's a commitment to being on the dating scene for a certain amount of time, or for those of you that are already partnered up, maybe it's just a commitment you're making for your relationship and the betterment that you're trying to achieve there. Now, in your potential outcome, you have interesting cards. So the Ace of Wands came flying out, which is a card of like creative force, passion, spark. And then you had Five of Cups, which is a card of like regret and remorse. So maybe there was some sort of hobby in the past that you didn't pursue that you really regretted not doing, and now you're going to go back into that thing again, or you're thinking about doing it. And I do feel like if you are pursuing something that has been on your bucket list or whatever, I feel like that's going to be a very positive outcome. And I think, not being too hard on yourself for not doing it earlier, it's still fine. Like we all have different timelines. So if you're not doing something in line with a timeline, that's just a societal expectation, and those can go out the window. Like, who cares? So as long as you're doing what you're doing for you, then that's what's important here. Now, that's what I have for tarot, Leo. Hopefully that helped. If it did, please smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to dive into the oracle cards because I feel like there's a lot of cohesive messages here that are going to help you align. Right away, I'm getting this isolation and hermit. Like, to me, these are one and the same. And the isolation is tied to your throat chakra, which is about being your most authentic self. And I feel like that's where you're really tapping in. And that's causing a lot of growth here because the growth card also came flying out at the same time when I did the pre-shuffle. Now, growth is tied to your heart chakra. So you're remaining open-hearted even despite all of the pain from the past. And that's what's vital. That's kind of what makes you, that's kind of the test in life that we all go through. So it's like, are you going to use your pain and become a victim or a martyr? Or are you going to use the pain and alchemize it and turn it into something very beautiful that you can make a passion project and throw yourself into? And that's kind of this lotus energy that came flying out here. So the lotus says, move from darkness into the light like a lotus. So sometimes we have to be covered and smothered and chunked in dirt in order to grow and to flourish. And I don't know why there was a Waffle House reference there, but that might be a significant message for someone. So you're really shifting out of old patterns into something new. And the next Moon Oracle card I have for you says, I release all negative thoughts of the past and all worries for the future. So that's a great card. And your emotions are running super high. This is a super moon. So something about Sagittarius moon might be significant, but I'm not getting like a heavy energy on that for you, Leo. But I do feel like you might want to check out the lunar calendars. Now, priorities are very important for you at this time. It says you understand the paramount importance of manifesting love in all situations. And that includes self-love. And then that Ace of Wands, you have the Creative Force card, which is number 1 on my I Ching deck. It says, pure creative spirit flows through people and events, and inspiration wants to be realized and move towards manifestation. Welcome its momentum and find ways to work with this vital energy. Sustain a constant two-way flow between source and action, and be true to your initial intent and align your choices with this original vision to yield positive results. How can you liberate creative energy and what wants to be created? And that's tied to your heart chakra. And that's weird. Sprouting was right underneath that as well. But I feel like that something about plants might be significant. Maybe that's what you're literally growing to transmute your energy, and you're throwing yourself into your plants, or you know, since the lotus was here as well, definitely something about plants or flowers, and those sorts of things. Or even cacti plants, because you have the desert here. Now, when I saw this card and it came out originally, I was like, oh, the desert, there's a mirage, there's some sort of oasis that you're trying to reach toward, and maybe that's in a person, or maybe that's on the dating scene, like you're looking for fulfillment through that sort of venue or avenue. But I do feel like it is an illusion, so make sure you're not getting trapped in some sort of cycle of repeat, because the round and round card came out here, and this to me is a little bit tied to karma, and it's number 25, but I feel like it's mostly tied to getting trapped in some sort of spiral when it comes to this like conflicted energy, the Page of Swords, whoever that Page of Swords is for you. Now, the last card I have for you is from my Third Eye Intuition, and it is Develop. And maybe you need to do your nails. I don't know why I've been like staring at my nails in the camera, but I need to paint my nails. Maybe you need to get your nails done. Sit with color, and what intuitive feelings do you get from each color? Is a favorite color guiding you? And write down anything you see and take notes. Now, color is vibration, and here's a blue eye on here as well. Like something about blue eyes. Color is an expression of self in ways, and I feel like the higher the frequency is hold on, how can I phrase this? I went on this tangent, I think, with the collective message, but it was like our eyes can only see 5% of baryonic matter. So if you don't know what baryonic matter is, you're gonna have to Google it, because I could talk about this all day. But our eyes can only see basically 5% of all matter that's generally out there in this dimension. And there are multiple dimensions. This is scientific fact. The government has even released statements about it. So there's different dimensions. We are in the third dimension. And sometimes you can tap into the fifth dimension if you're aligned with your higher self. Now, we can only see 5% of the spectrum, which is basically the rainbow color spectrum. And violet is the higher frequency color. So if you choose violet colored clothing, violet colored whatever to stare at, to meditate upon, or even to visualize, it's going to elevate your frequency. So for example, I will every night I have a mantra that I do before I go to bed. That's just kind of a protection mantra. And I visualize a violet light of healing and wisdom coming in through my crown chakra and, you know, encompassing my entire body. And then I also visualize a gold light of protection surrounding me at the same time. So my colors that I like to refer to are violet and gold. And, you can choose whatever colors you feel guided to, or anything that you've maybe been subconsciously drawn to. Chances are those are like protective colors for you. So, yeah, interesting tangent, but you can give it a Google baryonic matter if you get bored. But that's what I have for you, Leo. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you feel guided, make sure you book a one-on-one coaching session on my website, or you can book a personalized tarot reading there as well. And some of you might just want to paint your nails purple. I don't know. But that's what I have for you. Hopefully this helped. If it did, subscribe, and I will see you next time.